What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys, and we are here for our college football video of the day. And today I want to hit on something that is big to me. May not be to some of other people, but I don't care. Presentation. Presentation to me is one of the most underrated aspects of a football game, a sports game, period. We love certain broadcast teams. We love certain moments. One of my most fondest moments, I used to love the primetime games in college football with Brad Nessler and them. Like, dude, super fun experience, super dope. The commentary, the presentation, the scorebook, all of that stuff is weird. It matters. It matters. And I remember in older college football games, one thing that I used to love to do is I would find myself playing the role of the commentators. I would do a build up to the game and I would talk about previous schedules. And so like me, I'm playing with Texas in my dynasty right now. And I would, it's the week that we play Oklahoma or something. And I would go back and say, looking at what they did last week, this is the team that they played, looking at those teams and what they've done, the records, I would literally do a build up to that game. And it was even funner for those games that were those big time games. And one aspect that helped me to be able to do that and have fun with that I missed the most is presentation aspects. So guys, if you're new to the channel and you're not a Poindexter, which you shouldn't be a Poindexter, subscribe to the channel. Click the sub button. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to tell everybody about what happened your freshman year in high school with Big Dave in the bathroom. I don't want to have to tell people about that. Don't force me to do that. So subscribe to the channel so I don't have to do that. Don't make me go down that dark road. All right? We good? So, presentation standpoints. This guy tweeted this out some time ago, and I retweeted it. It's been in my back pocket because I've been wanting to talk about it. But what better time than today? Because looking at the Madden 26 information, they're putting a halftime show and a weekly wrap-up show in the game. And I'm like so dope about that. That's awesome. Kudos to them for that. And I really hope college football does something too. 14, we used to have the little halftime show. They didn't show highlights and stuff, but I really hope we can get to where they do. So he says, for anyone that has played the game in Orlando, please let us know if these are back in the game. And, at first people with the trophy case, I was like, yeah, I mean, the trophies, I'm not a big fan of the trophy. I used to go back and look at them, but it wasn't like a big deal to me. But seeing this, I was like, this was a big deal to me. So what you see in here is, first of all, the studio updates. Can we get the studio updates back? But better. I used to love the studio updates, guys, because that's what we saw on TV. Studio updates, and then they'd go and flash the scores. And on this one, guys, this was from 14. They didn't even have, they didn't even show highlights. They just talked, but they did talk about the game. You've seen the stats. Now, I understand. People are going to say, well, DM, that's ESPN. ESPN is not in the game. They can still do a studio update. They just don't have the ESPN branding and don't make the score bugs and the tickers and stuff look like that. They can do it. It can be done. Now, will it be done this year? I don't know. Hopefully in the presentation deep dive, we do get that back. But this was always cool to see, the studio update. Now, this would pop up at random times. It currently in 25 pops up at random times, but they don't do a cutaway for it. It's at the bottom of the screen in the ticker. It'll say studio update. And then there will be a guy that come on and give an update. But it gets put in the background because you're looking at the screen of your game. You're calling plays and stuff like that. So that's why I said I wish that they would go back to this format. Because if you're going to put time and money into doing a studio update, how many of y'all have actually listened to your studio updates? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's easy to miss and it's easy to skip because there's nothing really truly drawing your attention to it aside from a ticker at the bottom of the screen. So understanding that, I want them to put that back into the game. This was always cool, especially to see teams in my conference and seeing how they were doing, because y'all remember back in 14, this was a time in college football where if you lost the game, your national championship hopes could be gone. You know what I'm saying? Now we're in the playoff realm, and so now it is still important to see how other teams are doing, because conference champions get the buys, and then too the at-large teams. So it is important. I think that'd be cool to see. This was something that I always used, and they're showing you this from College Football Rebound, but this was in the actual college NCAA 14. But it was always cool. Like when you go and look at the team, you can see program information, their all-time record, their bowl record, conference championships they have in the most recent, as well as national championships. You can see their rivals. For the fan base, their win streak, their record, TV record, national TV record, average attendance. That was always cool to see as well. And then their rankings for the coaches poll, the AP, and the college football playoff poll, and then key injuries. Like, I'm telling you, I would literally go through these types of screens. So if I was playing, say I'm Texas and I'm playing against Penn State, my wording would be something of this line. So Texas has Penn State this week. Looking at Penn State, they're a storied program, all-time record, 957 wins to 414 losses. Their bowl record, 33 bowl wins, 18 losses. They're in the Big Ten Conference. It's a very tough and upcoming conference, kind of almost replacing the success that we've seen in the SEC. 5-time conference champions in the Big Ten, and also 2-time national champion, with the most recent being 1986. They're on a 5-game win streak, and the average attendance is through the roof. It is going to be a tough place to play for Texas coming in to Penn State, the number 1 ranked team in the land. Now, they do have a key injury to one of their star players in C.D. Lloyd, but he is probable, so we may see him in the game today. That's the type of stuff that I would do right there, man. Put me in the game, coach. Let me do that. You know what I'm saying? And even me, right now, just doing that, bro, the energy, the nostalgia, like, it makes me want to get into the game and play it. So, and then I would even commentate my own games, because if the commentary ain't up to par, I'll do it myself, because it just adds to the immersion, dude. And that's all coming from a presentation standpoint. Dang, I lost my words. And you even see me right there. This added so much to immersion, to playing the role of the TV broadcaster as I played the game. And then you would also see this, a game preview. Can we bring this back? I know Lee Corso ain't in the game. All right. But Herb Street. Can we get somebody to say, hey, when we look at the tail of the tape, as they say in UFC, have somebody, hey, this is who's picked to win. So once again, I'm going to get into character for y'all, because I like doing this. I just love it. So this week, we got a big game. Miami is facing off against Florida State. Both teams are 4-1. Both teams are undefeated in conference play. And looking at the tail here, Miami, they got the upper hand right here. Of course, they're picked to win. They're leading, and on paper, they're an overall better team. However, I'm putting Miami on upset alert, because Florida State has been crazy productive. While Miami has the better team on paper, Florida State has the better stats. They're better in points per game, averaging 47 compared to 34. Their offense is number 8 in the land, putting up over 500, an average of 528 yards a game compared to 445. The rushing offense is very dynamic, but it opens it up for the pass defense that's 5th in the land, or pass offense that's 5th in the land, with 540 yards averaging per game. The key here for Florida State, if they want to upset Miami, they're going to have to limit their balanced offensive attack, because they're averaging over 226 rushing yards per game. Total defense for Florida State, they're up to task. The number 9th ranked defense in the land, with the number 3 ranked rushing defense in the land. And this is Miami's bread and butter. Though their offense is balanced, Florida State should be able to take away their run game, and it's going to force Miami to pass the ball, which falls into a little bit of Florida State's favor, as Miami's 29th in the nation in turnover differential. This is going to be an outstanding game. It's going to be an outstanding rivalry. Back to you. Like that's the stuff I would do, man. Like I would do that kind of stuff, man. It's so dope to have that stuff in the game to look at before your games. Because truly, when you're looking at this, okay, on paper, yeah, Miami has their better overall rating, A+ on everything. But then you look at the stats, and Florida State is like, dude, that immersion is what I'm talking about, man. That is awesome. And then same thing here. Say I'm playing Miami, okay? Or you know, hey, Texas is actually facing off against Miami in the college football playoffs, looking at some of their leaders. This is going to be a very tough matchup for Texas. Miami's number 2 in the nation. They're 12-1. This is going to be an outstanding first round matchup for the college football playoff. Some of their offensive team leaders, their quarterback, phenomenal. 373 for 273, over 3,800 yards, 42 touchdowns, and the key stat here, 0 interceptions. You talk about an accurate quarterback. This guy is dangerous. Last week, he was 24 for 34, 275 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he ran the ball a little bit, 13 carries for 27 yards. Then you look at him in the rushing game, 190 rushes for 823 yards, 8 touchdowns, averaging 4.3 yards a carry. As the quarterback, this kid is electric and is the main reason that Miami is where they're at in production. And his key target, Burgess, 53 receptions, 897 yards and 7 touchdowns, averaging 128 yards per game. And it doesn't stop there. Their defense is stacked at well. The tackles with Jackson leading with 38, 4 interceptions by that secondary from Weber, and then the defensive line coming with more pressure, adding 4 sacks. This is going to be a tough matchup for the Longhorns, but it's one that they're looking forward to. See, like, bro, don't do me, y'all. Don't do me, y'all. And hey, that ain't written. Y'all know I don't do scripts. That's straight on the fly. But this is the level of depth that I want. This is the type of things that I look forward to looking at whenever I'm playing my games. That the game right now doesn't give you. It doesn't give you these key metrics and these key stats. It doesn't give you the rankings and these breakdowns and things like that. And I think that would be a really dope thing for them to add to Dynasty mode for as far as a presentation standpoint. Not only that, but it also helps you in game planning. Why? Because if I look at this screen here and I see that Florida State I see that Florida State is 5th in the nation in passing and they don't run the ball as well, that tells me right there they're probably not as effective running the ball, but they definitely are going to air it out. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to flip side, you look at Miami, they're a very balanced offense. You see what I'm saying? That's game planning type stuff. So I know going into this game that, you know, I need to be prepared to stop the pass. I want to force them to run the football because that's something that they don't do as well. Does that make sense? So all of this stuff is important. All of this stuff is a big deal, you know, and it adds depth to the game. And this is stuff that used to be at the forefront of the game. When you kind of look at the game preview, you can see their key players and all of those metrics. This was something that was super cool to see as well. So something that needs to return to the game, definitely. I know ESPN, like that you even seen there. I was trying to see if anybody had posted any other images and stuff like that of it. Dude, this is something that needs to be back in the game. Like, it's crazy how having this, the studio updates, being able to look at the game preview of programs, their players, their ratings, who's picked to win, that was so immersive. And I want it back for College Football 26. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. That's all I got for right now in today's video. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.